Hey, it's Tony Brueski, and this is our week in review over the weekend, taking a look back at some of the most compelling conversations and stories that we've covered for you of the last week. Brand new episodes back Monday morning, bright and early, 5 a.m. here on the podcast.
This is the Hidden Killers podcast with Tony Brueski,
featuring trial consultant and body language expert Susan Constantine.
This story, absolutely, it's horrific. It's scary if you're a parent to see just how quickly and irrevocably, in some cases, and easily it is to have your child be taken away from you because someone doesn't understand what's going on, as was the case with Maya Kowalski, ending in the death of her mother and by suicide. This is something where I look at it from the outside and go, okay, we have so many issues, it seems, with CPS and things not being taken action on and children being left in horrific situations. What is going on here where we have kids that literally, they have good homes, there's no record of anything, and somehow this can take place where they can literally be ripped out of their parents' arms when they need them most, going through the hospital treatments and such.
Yeah. So, Tony, one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this case, because this hits home for me, because I have a very close friend of mine who was the most wonderful mom I've known for 40 years. And she had her children ripped out of her own hands for the exact same reason. She was falsely diagnosed with Munchausen's by proxy disorder. Mm-hmm. So here's one of the things that I thought was interesting, because Vinnie Politan on Carte TV last night was talking about, is there any sort of financial gain by removing these children away from their parents? You know, it's just really mind-blowing to me that we are getting to a place where these authorities that are so-called experts are trained in diagnosing or to see the symptoms of abuse and how wrong they can be. Mm-hmm. In this particular case, I went to the trial. I went there on the day where one of the pain medical doctor, Dr. Chopra, was there. And I also went there with the girl whose child had her children ripped out of her hands for the exact same reason. So we had the wonderful opportunity that once we were leaving the court room during lunch break, I was able to meet Maya, Maya's dad, sister, and brother.
Yeah.
So we had a nice talk, and I introduced my friend Kelly to Maya and Maya's dad, and explaining to him that your mother didn't die in vain, that there are other parents out there that are going through the same situation or have gone through the very same situation. And I want to tell you, the amount of pain in their face and sadness, you know, I mean, literally, Tony, we were all in tears. Dad was with tears. We were flooded with tears.
Sure.
And, you know, the sad thing about that is that, you know, when they were in Johns Hopkins, that they refused, you saw the documentary, they were refused to be able to even pray with her daughter.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? So anyway, to make a long story short, I asked May and then I said, well, do you guys want to pray together? Mm-hmm. And we did. We all literally held hands, all of us, including my friend Kelly, and we prayed right outside that courtroom door. So what's happening is that Munchausen by proxy disorder, first of all, it was debunked almost 5 years ago. Now they call it fictitious disorder, which is like unexplained, right?
Okay.
So the fact that Johns Hopkins or no one else could figure out what this was, and this mother was so desperate to figure out how to get her daughter help, especially when she was crying with excruciating pain and in the mere touch of even having a sheet that was repositioned on her body or any sort of movement would throw her into excruciating pain. And one of the doctor who was testifying was saying that the pain that she experienced was the most magnificent pain that any human being has ever experienced, way beyond childbirth, beyond if you were a cancer victim or amputation. Now, I got to tell you something. That's a lot of pain, right? You doesn't get worse than that. So if you were a parent, what would you do? And here's where the problem lies. If a parent goes to a doctor, doesn't know what it is, and then refers you to another doctor who then doesn't know, and then goes to and asks you to go to another doctor to have further testing, and then you keep going to different doctors that are referred to you and they don't have any answers, you kind of get to a place where, well, maybe I need to go outside the United States and try something different. And that's exactly what Mia's mom did. And that's where they got the ketamine. And the ketamine worked. So with that being said, she was healed. And then she had some relapses, this is a lifelong condition. They don't have a lifelong treatment for it. And then she starts having more problems and then having some relapses, what she will always have. And when they find out that the mother told the nurses and doctors what she was being treated with and that she was very specific and what she needed. Why? It's because she's been through this entire journey to figure it all out. So what happens is you get this, I think her name is Sally Smith, but I don't know if you've actually got a glimpse of what she looks like.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
But she just looks like one pissed off person. I mean, she looks like an angry, narcissistic woman. And here's the other thing. There was anyway, so she diagnosed her with Munchausen by proxy disorder. The child was in danger. The mother was over-medicalizing her, was over-medicating her. So therefore, she must have Munchausen's by proxy disorder. Not thinking that this child, thinking outside the box that, well, maybe it's not the mother was just looking for her to get help. And then to rip her out of her own mother's arms. There was I guess she was a runner-up in the American Idol. I can't remember what her name is, but she also had the very same thing happen to her. By the same a person in the hospital, John Hopkins, Sally Smith. Okay. So we got a real problem with these officials that are taking matters into their own hands, causing so much distress, anxiety, endangerment, mental and physical, to these children. It is incomprehensible to me. And I gotta tell you, it flat out ticks me off to no degree. I mean, my anxiety and my blood pressure goes up thinking about it.
Sick of the ads?
We are too.
Start listening with no commercials now and get access to all of our episodes in advance of everyone else.
Become a True Crime Today Premium Plus subscriber on Apple Podcasts.
Search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts or go to our podcast page and sign up now.
True Crime Today Premium Plus.
Sign up now.